Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And to all my brothers out here preaching this truth to you, I say Shalom. This is a Matazar from the Chicago camp, coming back at you again with another lesson entitled Bread, 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 Cheese, Cheese, Cheese. So the first thing I want to do is draw your attention to the thumbnail. And this was a photo captured after the No Kings Day in Idaho. And what you see is a sea of pink people, okay? A sea of pink people protesting, all right, against the policies, all right, of Nero, okay? And I'm gonna come back to this picture, all right. But I want to tell you about the bread, 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 cheese, 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 real quick. So years ago, I had a coworker. All right, he was over 400 pound, big offensive lineman. The day that I met him, all right, we were at work and he was in the corner, and it was lunchtime. He was putting his lunch together, and he had an assembly line of food on the table. He heated up some chicken breasts, all right, from the fried chicken breast from Aldi's, and he heated up about three of them. And so he was preparing his sandwiches. So he put on a table bread, 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 cheese, cheese, cheese. All right. And I never forgot that, right? So after working with this guy years later, as big as he was always teasing people and always what you call it, jonesing on everybody. I mean, he would always pick out whatever your flaw was, and he'd go in on you. And he just had a reputation of that. But he didn't really bother me because I went off. I get him real good. So one day I just said bread, 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 cheese, cheese, cheese. He said, "What's that?" I said, that was you making your lunch when I first met you. Bread, 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 cheese, cheese, cheese. All right. But the point is, soon the storehouses will be found empty. Okay. And these pink people that you see here in the caption, all right, these are the people, all right, amongst everyone else, they're going to go absolutely ape shit. Okay. They're going ape shit now, right? Because we're going to see shortly how much of a percentage that they actually get from government assistance. All right. So first, let's hit our first precept. This is Second Ezra 15:14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, all right, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right. So race wars and hunger is coming. Okay. All right. It says that there's going to be sedition among men. Okay. So there's going to be lawlessness and uprisings. Right. And they're not going to regard their kings nor princes. They won't be regarding any authorities. All right. Uh, um, and it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right. Now you're gonna have martial law. You're gonna have all kind of stuff going on in the streets. You're not gonna be able to move around freely. All right. And shit, neither would you want to. All right. Because it's gonna be crazy out there. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right. And men shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. All right. And the modern day sword, all right, is your gun. All right. So it's about to get really ugly. Let's look at some stats. What is the data? What the data shows and why the non-Hispanic white percentage is less clear. All right, whites alone, all origins says according to the U.S. Census Bureau, quick facts. It says 92.1% of Idaho's population is white alone, and this includes people who are white and also Hispanic of any race because it's not specifying non-Hispanic. All right, so the number 92.1, it's closer to maybe 88 because you have to factor in these the so-called Northern Kingdom that um, are they're using, all right, and classifying as white, all right, in order to get these benefits in the first place. All right, so sometimes it's not all that clear, but it's saying 92.1%. So it's somewhere between 92 and 88%. Percentage of Idaho residents on SNAP. It says for SNAP specifically in 2024, an average of 130,900 people in Idaho receive SNAP benefits monthly, which is 6.5% of the state's population. All right. But guess what? They don't just come out and tell you the state's populations. You got to figure that out on your own. All right. It says for broader government assistance, according to the Idaho Interfaith Roundtable Against Hunger, over 345,590 Idahoans, about 21.1% of the state's population, all right, receive at least one of these forms of assistance in a year: Medicaid, SNAP, food stamps, cash assistance, or child care assistance. Okay? All right. So if you stand 10 people up together, two of them, all right, out of the 10 is getting some kind of assistance. So the summary: 92% of Idaho's population is white or Caucasian by broad census measure, and 66.5% of Idahoans receive SNAP benefits in a given month, and 21.1% of Idahoans receive some type of government assistance, meaning food stamps, Medicaid, cash aid, or child care annually. So those numbers broken down, right? 2 million, that's the population of Idaho. Okay? So Idaho population is 2 million. Salaki, I forgot to put the population of Idaho up here so you can see it. All right, so it's 2 million residents in Idaho. All right, so when we do the math, we break this down. They said 21% of Idahoans receive some type of government assistance. So that's 420,000 Idahoans receive government assistance every year. All right, some sort of assistance. And out of that 2 million, it says 6.5 receive SNAP, okay, which is food stamps. It's 130,000. Okay, wait a minute. I thought Jake, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, I thought they was the face of government handouts. I thought the young black uneducated single mother with multiple babies was the face of welfare. I told you about the Edomites who used to congregate at the gas station and talk about uh, you know welfare and the young blacks being on welfare. That's not what this sea of pink. That's not what that represents. All right, we being lied to. But a time is coming, worse than any time in history. This is Matthew 24:21. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved." All right? But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. All right? And that's what we're approaching. Isaiah 9:19, it says, "Through the wrath of Yahweh of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother, and he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. You see that prophecy? All right. People gonna be eating people and eating your own flesh. Supernatural help from the Lord. This is Daniel 12:1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. There shall be a time, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Okay? So we're going to need supernatural help from Yahweh. All right, and he's going to provide it. Why? He's telling you, what's going to happen. He's telling you that people going to snatch on the left. All right, they're going to eat their own arms. In the same way he's telling you they're going to eat their own arms, he's telling you there's going to be deliverance for the children of Israel. All right, Isaiah 65:13. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. All right? So the Lord is promising that in that time of trouble, he's going to help us. Psalms 33:16. There is no king saved by the multitude of any host, okay? Or the multitude of a host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. A horse is a vain thing for safety, neither shall he deliver any by his great strength. Behold, the eye of Yahweh is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul waited for Yahweh. He is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his holy name. You got to know the name. Let thy mercy, O Yahweh, be upon us, according as we hope in thee. All right? All right, and in closing, this is Psalms 91. All right? Very important. You know, with your loved ones, you still try to share. All right. And then I found myself still trying to share, right? Even with my mom, So I was telling her, you have to know the name of the Lord. And she said, where it say that at? Where it say that at? I ain't never heard that. Well, here it is. This is Psalms 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power. In him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. All right, so we ain't worried about these ICBMs, okay? Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made Yahweh, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. Okay? There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling, for he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, and the young lion and the dragon shall thou trample under feet. because he has set his love upon me. Therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high because he have known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him, and I will be with him in trouble, and I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. All right? So all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakakudash. This has been bread, 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 cheese, cheese, cheese. I pray that this lesson has been edifying. To the next one, Shalom.